What's going on? It's Ryan with Sawdust and Stuff, and today I'm going to talk with you, just me and you sitting down having a little chat, and this is what the rest of these laser videos are going to be. What I wanted to do when I got this laser behind me, the Thunder Laser Nova 51 100 watt, was test it, see how it fit into my shop, and then what ended up happening is I had to make some changes. The woodwork shop that I had a year ago before the laser entered the shop is on hold. I haven't really woodworked over the last 4 or 5 months, and we'll talk a little bit about why that is here. But today's video, I want to focus on what I did with this laser to create a revenue stream. In other words, what I did with this laser so that I can make money with it, because the biggest hurdle for lasers is the financial payment you make, whether you make it up front, lump sum it, or if you make incremental payments. Either way, today we're going to talk about how to monetize your Thunder laser. Now, in the last video, I showed you 2 quick products that you can use in your shop, in your community, in your online marketplaces. Wherever you sell, you can use those 2 products to make enough money to support your laser business. What I want to do today is I want to talk about strategies and specifically how I went about finding clients, customers, all those types of things, hoping that the way that I did it, which slow and steady, by the way, but the way that I did it, I hope works in your area as well. So let's talk about the few different spots that I sell. I'm located in a small town. It's about 10,000 people, and my priority number 1 for my client base is local. If I'm not selling local, this business isn't going to thrive, because that is the most trusted and the most consistent client base I have. The first step I took, and that I would encourage you to take, is to go ahead and reach out to people in your community who work in a job that they give some sort of a gift for their clients. Specifically for me, I have a few different clients that I've had ongoing relationships with. Almost all of them exist in the insurance world, in the mortgage lending world, or in the realtor world. Now, the reason that these products make such great products, and the reason I wanted to reach out to them first, is because those lines of work have rules about how much money they can spend on their clients for gifts, right? Because what they don't want is to be able to buy a client. They can't. They have to put some sort of a stop to that at the level of like creating those rules. So the products like tumblers or hats or some of these small laser engravables are perfect because they fall underneath that, but yet they can be completely personalized and they have all the options that they could ever want with them. So step 1 in the local region is reaching out to individuals who work in insurance, mortgage, selling homes, and there's a variety of other ones you can do here, but reach out to those people and give them a freebie, okay? Go into that conversation with a tumbler or a hat that you have made, you have put together, that has their logo. Steal it off Facebook if you need to, and say, here's what I can do for you. This one's just for you. And I'm just curious if you wanted to start ordering these for your clients. The answer for me was about 50-50 yes, or unfortunately, we already have clients that we do this with, or a company we do this with, so it's not going to work this time. So when you're monetizing your laser, I always would encourage you to start local. Mortgage lenders and the whole work industry is step 1. Step 2, what I would encourage you to do, and this is actually something that I backed out of myself, but I would encourage you to go into local small shops, and I would encourage you to try and get your products on those shelves, whether it's a boutique or some sort of a craft store where they bring in all these different vendors. Vendor stores, not craft stores. Find one of those couple of places and do the same thing. Bring in what you want to sell and say, here's what I've got. Here's what I'm wondering if you'd be willing to do. I just mentioned that I pulled out of this myself, and the reason is because I don't want to sell products where I'm not paid up front. The stores in my local area were all on the, you bring your stuff here, and if it sells, we'll cut you, you get the money then. Otherwise, you have to take your stuff back. And that's not really what I want to do, because a lot of my stuff is seasonal with the pre-made designs. And so if you're going to have me set my stuff on your shelf for 3 months and it's not going to sell, and then I have 24 Christmas tumblers that I'm just holding, doing nothing with, that's not really what I want. Rather, what I want is I want to go into that store and I want to say, hey, I'll wholesale you all this stuff. Okay, so the typical tumbler, I'm going to take half the price off or a third of the price off or whatever, and I'll sell you all that price. Then you get to sell them. You mark them up however you want. You sell them and keep all that money. And that was for me something I couldn't find, was someone who was willing to pay for the items up front. And instead, they just wanted the responsibility to be on my shoulders. And where this got interesting is because I mentioned being in a smaller 10,000 person town, which means a lot of the stores that sell, the vendor stores and the boutiques, have a low traffic. The couple stores I was in didn't do well. I sold a couple things in like 2 quarters, and it just wasn't worth my time. It just wasn't worth my time. But for me, that's my local market. And if you are in a spot, specifically a town that's a little more touristy, I'm thinking my mom has some stuff down in the Smoky Mountains. And if I was living down near there, I'd be in every single store trying to sell my stuff there, because that is such a fast, high traffic spot and people are gonna grab that stuff. But for me, it just didn't work out where I am. So my goal with my local market here is to create all the money that I can to have the revenue coming in locally here to free me up to seek out other opportunities. So what I need is any money that I'm getting from these customers that are local on an ongoing basis. Most realtors order 15 or so mugs, maybe 10 to 15 a month. They've got 5 closings or whatever. Insurance people order about once a quarter, they order a pack of 24. So I just wanted to create enough money coming in that way to be able to free up some time so that I could seek out other opportunities. And the other opportunities that I'm seeking out are, of course, the online channels. And there's a few that I want to talk about here because I've had successes and lack of success in a couple of different ways. The channels that I'm currently selling online for me have been Etsy. I've got a little over 3,000 sales over on Etsy. Maybe 500 of those are laser incorporated, and that would be over the last year with this machine. A lot of those, not a lot, but some of those are actually people who I pushed over to Etsy when they wanted to purchase locally, because the way Etsy works in their algorithm is when someone buys a product, they start pushing that product to a larger group of people. And so often if you're on Etsy, and you know this already, but when you sell a product and you hit the create shipping label, you'll always get more traffic on that same video. So you want to ship stuff as fast as you can over there. And so if I push people to purchase there, I'm giving up like a 6% fee that you pay Etsy for that service, but it often would lead to further sales. I also use Etsy ads, like $1 a day is all that I push over there. And Etsy's great, but it's not great either. It's hard to find you out of the huge oversaturated market. So there's some creativity that you have to have for Etsy. Luckily, I've been able to have some success there, but there's all sorts of resources you can look into specific to Etsy as well and selling over there. But that's just how I've done it. I have a bunch of products that are up there that I'll trickle through, and then sometimes I'll push people over there just to increase my algorithm. The other place that I'm going to talk about here is social media. There's a few different social medias that I'm on. Only one of which do I have an online store on. The rest I just have an online presence. So over on Facebook, I've got a couple thousand people who have followed my shop from the early rustic furniture days all the way up till now. And so I try to post consistently on Facebook, but I'm pretty poor at that one, to be honest. I don't post there as much as I should. However, some of my best customers are from Facebook, and it's always good to just keep people seeing your stuff. So what I try to do is I try to find anytime I do anything. So right now, right next to me, I've got about 300 or 400 tumblers engraved in this place. And even though this one's red, okay? And even though, this one's black, I'm gonna make a post that just shows that there's 2 different colors so that people can look at those and see that there's 2 different color options and just kind of pique their interest a little bit. I get a lot of small custom orders from doing Facebook posts like that. Most of them come from friends or family or customers that already exist. But to create a new customer line or a new relationship with different clients, Facebook Marketplace is a great place to post. Craigslist could be a great place. I haven't used that one, but that could be a great place to post your stuff as well. The other social medias I've had a lot more success with, over on Instagram, my page is 100% tailored to woodwork, and it's 100% tailored to the epoxy work that I've done in the past. So I haven't created a lot of sales there, but I have created some relationships and some bigger orders for other friends I have who need custom hats or something like that. So just post your stuff where you've got your channels. If this is a new business for you, this is gonna take some work. I would encourage you to use maybe some giveaways, maybe donate to some fundraisers, those types of things. But you've got to create some relationships and just let people know what you do is really the big thing with that. The last place I'm gonna talk about creating a revenue stream or monetizing is TikTok. So I'm fairly new to TikTok. I've had a page there for a couple of years. I had a couple of videos that did fairly well over on TikTok early on, all epoxy related, because again, that's what I primarily did before I got the Thunder. However, about 6 months ago, TikTok introduced this new part of their app. If you're on TikTok, you already know it. It's called TikTok Shop. And what they wanted to do is create a shopping experience on TikTok to rival other places like Etsy or Amazon or whatever. The brilliance of this is that TikTok allows you to tag an item to your video. So you can make a video and you can make the video showing how you made it, talking about what it is, explaining who needs to buy it. And right there at the bottom of the video, you can click and it instantly opens up the picture and you can hit buy now. It's very, very simple. When TikTok created this, they had the intention of rivaling these places I just listed. And so their algorithms went and started pushing the post that had TikTok Shop attached to it. As you can imagine, this did pretty well for a lot of people. So I got my Thunder just over a year ago now, and one of the first items I made was hats. One of the next items I made was tumblers. I have sold a ton of these, thousands of them. However, in the last 6 months on TikTok Shop, I have sold far more than the 10 whatever months before. I'm currently speaking right now, my TikTok Shop is, the last 2 days I've had over 150 orders each day for a single hat. That hat is the same exact thing. I just have to make 150 of them. It's just like a bulk order. However, people are paying full price because it's a design I paid, and it's not a bulk order. You're ordering one to Texas, one to Alabama, one to California. You get the picture. To monetize on TikTok Shop, there's a few things you need to do. First, you need to be consistent. You need to create videos that rival what other people are putting out there, so they've got to be high quality videos. You also need to have a product that people are going to want to buy, and it needs to look presentable. If the product sucks, they're all going to get returned, you're going to be pissed about it. You need a product that's a good quality product. Community over competition is incredibly important on TikTok. Early on TikTok, I went and made a hat with the design that I purchased on Etsy. Most of my files I just buy. I purchased it on Etsy, and there was another maker who was very, very unhappy because the design that I had purchased on Etsy and made was a design that they had also put out there and made in a similar way. Now, the truth of the matter is I didn't know this maker. I didn't follow this maker. I had no idea this had happened. But my video started to do well, and I've sold well over 1,000 of this specific design item, and they were not thrilled about that. They blocked me, yada, yada, yada. All this to say, if you can work with other people on TikTok, create a community, other people, when they want something, will start pointing them to your page instead of just making the design themselves. So community over competition is a big deal over on TikTok. You've got to stand out, you've got to have high quality goods, and you've got to be consistent. The hardest thing about TikTok is they've got what they call a 3-day turnaround, meaning that when I've got these hundreds of orders coming in a day, I've got 3 business days until that product needs to be scanned in by USPS. So you're kind of at their beck and call. The last couple days I've had about 100, 150, 200 orders coming in every day. Before that, the 3 days, I had like 4, 7, and 3 or something like that. So it's incredibly volatile. But again, because I've established the local relationships, I've got money coming in. So now I can focus on the things that are bigger and better and the spots where I can have volatility, such as TikTok Shop. So I know this has just been a little bit of a conversation. If you've got questions I didn't answer, I'd love to see them below. But the big thing is this: focus on your local sales. Your best revenue stream is going to be a relationship that you build with someone in your area. After you've got that established, I would highly encourage you to seek out opportunities like TikTok Shop. You can put your stuff on Instagram, you can put your stuff on Facebook. All of these spots have a shop where you can put your stuff. Etsy, Amazon, I don't do Amazon, but I need to. I just haven't had the time. Local first, then online. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. What else do you want to know? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I've got a review coming on the Thunder Laser in the next couple of weeks, and another video for you as well. So thanks for hanging out with me. We'll catch you later.